Hi everyone, it's Ginny again from BraveBlueRaven Art and Craft, and I've come back on this time to show you another thing that I've done for the 100 Things Challenge. I started this project well over a year ago now, or close to a year. I'm not 100%, round about this time last year anyway. Yeah, so it's a rustic journal. I had been watching several ladies on YouTube, and I've forgotten their names, but I will put them on the screen when I figure that out later. Doing rustic journals and various different vintage type journals, and it really inspired me. Mine aren't really all that similar to theirs. I just kind of took the idea and ran off in my own direction. So this might take a while to explain everything, but I'll start with the cover. I've made it with corrugated cardboard that I've ripped strips off, but not all of it, so it's kind of patchy. And then I put down some white gesso and some modelling paste. And then I've just stuck bits of gauze, bits of old embroidered tablecloth, just little patchy, scrappy pieces, a bit of broderie anglaise, some crochet trim, and this is a piece of net, like fishing net, and some thread. And this is an old piece of music paper. A couple of years ago I was creating something, and this just came about as I was wiping off things, and I really liked it, so I kept that, and it's been kicking around in my bits box for a couple of years, and I finally thought I'm going to bring that out, darken the edges and stick it down. I've stuck it down on some handmade paper behind there. So that's how I did the cover, and I've got some punched leaves, punched leaves out of cardboard, and some little tiny circles of wood here as well. And of course this piece here, which is a bit of balsa wood, and I used my, what's that called? Oh my gosh, a wood burning tool. And I wrote the word rustic. Don't you love it when your mind goes blank? And I've tied it with some of this Hessian type ribbon, and I just attached that with some staples really roughly because I wanted it to be rough and rustic. So I'll open, it's really chunky, and I had a heap of fun making this. So inside I've decorated background with some dressmaker's pattern tissue, and there I've just made a little pocket with some book text, and I've put the tissue paper over the top. Here I've just got a tag that I've punched on, and I made a little envelope out of the book page. So put those in there. And then, oh gosh, it's a bit tight. Each page I've decorated with pictures or other embellishments, and mostly made tuck spots so I can tuck things in there. I've stuck some of that netting on there just loosely. And oh gosh, this is really hard to show. What I've done is I've printed out from the internet a lot of pictures of, I just keep in the word rustic really, and got old pictures, you know, vintage pictures of people and country scenes and things like that. You know, put a bit of gauze behind there. That's a tuck spot. And this one, ooh, this is the problem with this, because it's held together with jute. It kind of gets a bit floppy, but that's how it's done. It's another tuck spot just out of scraps, bit of handmade paper, book text, a bit of a picture I was using, that was just the offcut, and a bit of the tablecloth, and another envelope in there. And inside here I've just got some tea-dyed lined paper, so you could write on that. There's that one. Here I've made a tuck spot out of scrap papers and put a leaf there, and this tag I've made out of a whole lot of scraps. Threads, pictures, tissue paper, offcuts of scrapbooking paper, and a leaf, a real leaf that was an autumn leaf, and I've covered it with some Mod Podge so it's preserved it. And I've also found a little fluffy bird feather from the garden, so I've stuck that in there as well. This is a tuck spot, which is just sort of random bits of paper and some flowers and some of those little pearls on there. This is a card you can use as a journaling card. I've stamped, that's tea-dyed paper. And also here, oh no, I need a bit of paper to show you. This side you could put a picture or a photo, because I've put little, it's not going to work now, I want to show you. I've put little photo corners in there anyway, and they do work. There. So, that's that. Next page, I've got some beautiful bird images. Oh my gosh, it's a bit hard to get all of this in the camera. It's another tuck spot. I've got a bit of paper there I've stamped on. I've got lots of threads from sewing, which I didn't mention, I sewed that on roughly. And there's just another little card. A tuck spot in there. That's a bird made out of fabric that Nina Ribena sent me in some Happy Mail a while ago. And there's some of this Hessian type ribbon glued down. There's a little tuck spot I made out of brown paper bag. I just roughly cut funny shapes out, stamped a deer on there. And this is a, yep, that way, just a whatever card, journaling card I guess, just with lots of scraps and stitches and threads and bits and pieces of lace and paper. Here I've got a little pocket. I might keep this tag to show you. I've got like a little tuck there and one behind there, which I've just put another little thing on, stamped notes on there. This is actually a circle cut out of sandpaper, which is actually, when the light shines on, it's quite sparkly. So there's another idea if you want something different to use in your journals. Use sandpaper. It's another tuck spot with a flower. You have two things in there and down here as well. I haven't put stuff in all of them. Another tuck spot here, I've used one of those skeleton leaves, and behind there is a tea bag that I've stamped on, and a bit of lace, and a birdie stamped. This page, I've made the pocket again out of brown paper bag. I've got a little tab up there out of book text, and I've stamped the little acorns on there. There's a little booklet I made, again out of scraps, just tied together with thread. It's a tea bag that I stamped on. It's book text. Because I want to say, in between the papers, book pages, is a manila folder, so to make it sturdy. Here I've made a little tiny tag that I've just stamped a bit of text on inside a pocket, and then there's tea-dyed, really roughly ripped pages, just stitched it down the centre. Some of the tea pattern on there looks really nice, and the same sort of tag in the back, and a stamped tea bag on the back. So that's that. Yep, I took so long because I started making this and got sidetracked doing other things, so I kind of put it away for a while, and then I only just got back to doing it recently and finishing it off. So there I've just got a full page of lined paper for writing on, and I've tucked some of the leaves in there, in that tuck spot, those skeleton leaves. This is plain tea-dyed paper with a bit of stamping on it, which is very roughly done because I want that rustic look, so I didn't care that it, or I preferred that it didn't stamp properly. And here I've got another tuck spot with scraps, and I've made an envelope out of book paper and covered it in the tissue, and then I've just got a bit of paper in here that can be used for journaling. It's tea dyed as well. Well, no, I think that one's coffee dyed actually, but only lightly. I haven't done a big journal flip like this for ages. Some more pages with tuck spots, some pictures, scraps, another one there. This one, I love this picture. It says a bush home in Australia, and it's just a really old wood sort of shack out in the bush with a horse out the front and a man standing at the gate. Another one of these cards that I've sort of stitched together, stamped and stuck papers and laces and threads on, and that little wooden heart. That's just plain handmade paper on the back. There's oops, just a bit of decoration down in the corner there. Sorry if you can hear Roy snoring, he's having a really good sleep. Here I went sort of a little bit beachy with a bit of blue, so I've put this as a driftwood clock picture. A bit of hessian up there is a tuck spot as well. Here I've got a postcard just out of some scrapbooking paper, and there's a picture of the crab with the blue background and some thread glued on there. This one I made a flower out of brown paper bags, and I've inked them quite heavily and put them all together, and there's a metal button in there and some jute thread to tie it together. Tissue paper behind, and this little card which I've put lined paper on the back for writing. It says the Victoria Design Shop. It's really vintage tickets. I've put some butterflies there, some more little tuck spot things out of scraps. Another page with lined paper, another leaf, and a little card with the bird stamped on it. It's just plain. Some more plain paper with stamping, tea dyed. And this one I've just put banners in layers, and you could use them all individually as tuck spots or just have it as a decoration. This lives up here for a tuck spot. Just put some circles together there. This one was a scrap piece I punched some flowers out of, so I just inked it and stuck it down there. And this is a old bush songs picture I printed. I think it's actually the cover of a book because it says edited by A.B. Patterson. And there I've just stamped on that for writing. More plain pages with stamping. Another tuck spot with some scraps and another ticket. More scrap tuck spots and just a little note card. Another pocket with some paper, coffee dyed paper inside for writing. Here I put bird feather again, match that with the birdhouse, really rustic driftwood birdhouse picture there. Sorry, my tripod frame is in the way of me lifting it up closer. And that is a tuck spot up there too. Another little card with a bird on it. That's stitched on. I've stitched some and just glued others. I like all these threads hanging off. More tuck spots there and there. And a butterfly card. A little letterbox, rustic letterbox. Another envelope. More coffee dyed paper. This one here, bird's nest picture with eggs in it. Just a bit of gauze. Just a little card. This is from scrapbooking paper. It's a tuck spot with some hessian and lace. And a card made out of tea-dyed paper. And handmade paper. Not that I made it, but it's handmade by someone else. And this one here, I have two things. I've got a card there with a stamping on it. And this to be used as a journaling card. And this is a bit of napkin that had elephants on it, so I've stuck them on there. Some more plain paper with stamping. Another tuck spot with brown paper bag and some pattern paper punched hearts there. Another pocket out of the handmade paper with coffee dyed paper there and deer. Lots of threads. And that's just a tuck spot with really scrappy pieces. Just using them up and just stitched over the top roughly. It's another brown paper bag stamped and stitched and glued on. And another little note card. Love this picture here. Let's see if I can show you close enough. It's a wall picture. It's got two planks of wood and trees, I think, painted on it. So there's a bit of a scene painted on it, and then a big piece of driftwood there. It's really great. It's something I'd love to do as an outdoor art piece, actually. So yeah, I've got another little note card in there. It's just a pair of scissors, text stamped in the background, and a birdie. And that's just some scrap paper I had left over, so I made another tuck spot there. Oops, no, I went off camera, sorry. More plain paper. Another tuck spot with seashells and wood. There's some flowers there punched out and stuck down. Another envelope, and this one's got lined tea stain paper in it. Oh, I can't get that back in. Oh my gosh, Roy is snoring so much. He's having a good sleep. Here we've got really beautiful rustic picture of books and keys. There's a tuck spot, and here I love this one too. Maybe I'll put it on the side there. See, it's a buckets of rusty cogs, and it's fantastic. I really like it. And another one of those cards that you can put a photo in with the corners, and just plain paper bag paper on there. Here I've just decorated that page. I don't think I intended that to tuck anything into. I've just put it there with the butterflies. Here's a page with some tea-dyed lined paper, some lace sewn down the side, and here I tried making some rusty paper clips. Now they've got rust on them, but it comes off if you rub it, so it's not completely rusted. I'll show you what I did. Over a period of several months, I put a lot of paper clips in a jar with some water, lemon juice and vinegar and a heap of salt, and I just let them sit there until all the water evaporated and rust got onto the paper clips. But I love how the salt has crystallised up all around the edge there. Looks fantastic. And these are the paper clips. I tried using some of them and they look great like that, but if you use them too much, this comes off. Well, actually that one looks better than the one I've got in the book. That's staying on a lot better, but yeah, eventually I imagine it would come off. I could look at perhaps covering them in Mod Podge or something just to stop it from crumbling everywhere. But I really like the look. I really wanted rusty clips. I've got a few which I haven't added. I should. Do you know the wooden clothes pegs that have the metal coil part to hold them together? I've got several of those that are rusted just from being on the line outside for years, and so I've pulled those pegs apart and saved the clips, and I was going to put them in here but I forgot about it. Anyway, that's that page, and there's a little tuck spot. I've got some botanical picture there. Another page with stamping. Another tuck spot with some travel tickets in there because I've got a picture of a train. Getting towards the back with some threads. I've got some camels, pictures of camels. I'll show you that way. And just another little card in there, a little note card. And we've got what they call road trains, trucks, a line of trucks. Another one of those sort of embellished cards. That was a piece I had left over from making a journal a while ago, so I stuck that on there. This beautiful butterfly, and another tag made out of lots of scraps. Another butterfly with script in the back as a tuck spot. And I've got another one of those layered banners, but I've stamped the butterfly on it, so you can see it's stamped across all 3 layers. I made another one of those little notebooks. This time I used a tea bag with a tag on it, so I used the tag as a closure for the little booklet. So just tuck that in there. A nice butterfly picture. I think that might be a moth. Ooh, yeah, more moths. Another envelope of paper inside. Copyright paper anyway. So yeah, it's very chunky, lots of pages. This is a bit of hessian with a clock as a tuck spot, and I put some tissue and lace under there as well. It's another one of those cards that I've just stamped on and stitched some hearts. We're getting towards the end now. Some more tuck spots up there and under there, and there's another, you can see there where the rust has come off a fair bit, so it's still a bit shiny underneath. And another tuck spot in there and here, and that hessian's just there for decoration. Yeah, I did, I put paper, I was just checking, I put paper in every little envelope. Oh, that one's clipped on, I thought it was stitched. I forgot about that. So that can come out. More plain pages, another lined page. Another one, another tuck spot with deer. This one's scraps of lace, a bit of paper, a bit of jute. There's another tag. It's tea bags and tissue paper stamped on, and a bit of wool there. Another tuck spot made of scraps. And there, another one of those cards with a button on there as a flower centre. Scraps of that lace tablecloth. And last page, last little tuck spot there, and then in the back I've just put one tag in that pocket. And then on the back I've put lots of gauze or cheesecloth, some leaves, and some more of those wood things. And getting it back into the right shape is slightly fiddly, but not too bad. And then down the side here I have got 3 gum nuts which were very old. My mother gave them to me over a year ago now, and they actually had little grubs in them that had bored into the wood and cut some holes in it, so I had a hell of a time digging all those grubs out and sort of sawdust that was in there, and all the time I'm doing that I'm thinking, lucky for Wendy she didn't get grubs in her gum nuts. She would have freaked out. But it didn't bother me that much. I mean, they're only tiny little things. So anyway, I cleaned them up, and the outsides were very, very rough, so I looked at sanding them back and figured out that was way too much work, so I got out my little, what's it called? this knife. Little knife. I keep thinking scalpel, it's not a scalpel. And I went round each gum nut and I cut all the outside edging off so that it wasn't as bumpy, and then it revealed this really nice texture underneath. So then I got my wood burner and I wood burned little patterns onto them and then varnished them, and this one I actually wrote the word rustic on it. And yeah, I've just put that together on some of that black thread with some wooden beads in between, and that one is a, so yeah, that's my rustic journal. So I hope you enjoyed seeing that. I had a great time making it. The whole process was really nice and relaxing. It's something I'd never done before, so I was sort of thinking up different ideas and finding pictures to use, and yeah, it was great. I love it. So that's it. I hope you can see all of that properly. I might lift my tripod up a bit higher. I think I put it down lower, but it doesn't really give me a lot of room because the legs are like right here almost. Anyway, that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.